check this out. Grammy season is upon us, and Burna Boy is up for a Grammy yet again. But this time, he's twice as tall. I put together a list, top 10 Burna Boy songs of all time. My name is Fairchild, and you are watching Cross Rhythm. At number 10, Music Make Me Feel Like Me Jordan. 23 off the 2020 Twice as Tall project, 23 being a reference to Michael Jordan. Here Burna Boy is talking about being exposed to fake people and having a hard time identifying who they really are. People pretending for me. People pretending for me. The melody is strong. This one has a galloping beat with a piano loop. Has a dancehall sound. Classic Burna Boy. This is where Burna Boy feels most comfortable. At number 9, we have Get Dem. Get Dem is off the 2018 Outside project. Here Burna Boy samples Tamia's So Into You to produce another dancehall sounding classic. Get dem now. I'm getting a 90s vibe on this one. This was off the Outside project, the 2018 Outside project. There were very notable tracks off that album. That album was the first one where we started having this discussion of a Grammy nod from Burna Boy. When you listen to this song, as it begins right away, you're very familiar with that sample. Fabulous did So Into You in the 2000s. So for him to be able to recreate the song and come up with a hit, we have to give him points on this one. Dangote, Dangote. The minute you hear the opener, you know what's up. Dangote is off the 2019 African Giant project. Look, I think it's a given that we're going to have a lot of songs on this list from that project. African Giant is on its way to be a classic. The further and further away we move from that album, it just sounds better and better and better. It's aging very well. Cal P's production is all over this thing. It's Cal P vibes. African Giant is a perfect blend of mostly Afro beats. It has some Afro jazz, a little kizomba, sprinkled in with a little dancehall, some hip hop and R&B. It's this flavorful soup that is just aging very well. You know, when it first came out, I killed it for that, the Future and the YG feature that was on that album. But you know what? I was listening to it the other day. I'm not mad at those. I'm not mad at those tracks. I think I was too quick to kill those tracks. At number 7, we have Time Flies Like a Thief in the Night. Siwa Siwa Charumba. I need a full-length Burna Boy Salty Soul project. I mean, every time they come together, they just make pure magic. And I was actually surprised that Salty Soul's Midnight Train album was not nominated for a Grammy. That was a phenomenal album. If you guys have not listened to it, go and check it out. I also did a full review on that album. Also, go check that out. Salty Soul and Burna Boy are very comfortable. The whole dancehall sound is something that they both dabble in. I think Salty Soul and Burna Boy complement each other very well. Just listening to the song, it reminds me of Sade's Sweet as Taboo. Sweet as Taboo. If you guys are familiar with it. At number 6, we're back with African Giant. Another Story featuring Manifest. That's another collab that works very well. I first heard Manifest and Burna Boy on Tomorrow. That was on Manifest's Gamble project. For those of you who are not familiar with who Manifest is, Manifest is a Ghanaian rapper. He gave us the classic 2013 project, Ape, The Price of Free. On that project, there were a lot of standout songs for me. We had Debbie Debbie. We had No Shortcut to Heaven. We had Some Way Be. Go check that album out if you guys haven't. And anytime Manifest and Burna Boy come together, there's a lot of chemistry. Manifest is a conscious rapper. Burna Boy has a conscious side to him, so this works very well. Another Story is a great song. Number 6 on my list. At number 5, This Beat Ain't Normal. You have the classic tag, Gumbody, featuring Georgia Smith. I will admit, when I first heard this song, I was very quick to write it off. I was actually very quick to write off a lot of the international features on African Giant. But I was sitting in a restaurant once, and this song came on, and man, I've liked it ever since. Gumbody, featuring Georgia Smith. This is a slow groove. Another 90s sounding vibe on this one. Dancehall, lovers rock type of sound. It's littered with the saxophone riff. I get this one. You know, Afro jazz works really well with hip hop. A little history lesson for you guys. Jazz, specifically Afro jazz, dancehall, and hip hop are actually cousins. So let me explain. All right, when we go back into time, hip hop, when it was created, the first guy who was credited for creating hip hop was DJ Kool Herc. DJ Kool Herc was born in Jamaica, and he would go back every so often to Jamaica, and that's where he would see a lot of DJs who would have people toast over records, and then that's where he also got the idea to mix records together. All right, James Brown created the funky drummer. Now, the funky drummer, there's a specific drum break in that song where it's been sampled in hip-hop to create that boom bap sound. That boom bap sound was very popular throughout the 90s, and even nowadays now you have some rappers who still do use that boom bap sound. Okay? Fela took a lot of elements from James Brown. He studied James Brown's formula, and he added a couple of other elements to create Afro beat. So that's where you get the relation between Afro jazz, dancehall, and hip hop. Number 4, we have Anybody. This is off the 2019 African Giant project. A lot of Kizomba vibes on this one. For those of you who are not familiar with what Kizomba is, it is a genre originating from Angola that has become very popular over the past couple of years for their very steamy dance moves. Come on now, you know you spend countless hours on the internet watching those Kizomba dance videos. Come on now. Be honest. The one thing I do enjoy about Burna Boy is his versatility. He's definitely not afraid to take different sounds and just come up with something fresh, something unique. And this song showcases that very same reason why a lot of people like Burna Boy. At number 3, okay, this is my last, I promise, this is my last song off the African Giant album. Number 3, we're talking about Creeping on the Low. On the Low. I'm guessing her name is Angelina. Angelina. Here, Burna Boy is not afraid to be very playful with it. We get a lot of interesting harmonies. When you listen to African Giant, it's a very classic sounding Afrobeats album. A lot of Afrobeats albums, the drums are mixed slightly higher than the vocals and the other instruments. So that's why I like African Giant. If you guys were wondering, geez, another African Giant song. I do enjoy that he also took other elements, other sounds around Africa, the kizomba. He definitely mixed in the Afro jazz. Another thing that I do enjoy about African Giant is that Burna Boy had a lot of international features, but he didn't pander to them. You know, when you listen to the Georgia Smith track, to the Future track, the YG. A lot of people like Secret, the one that had Jeremiah. It's not a track for me, but I appreciate it. I do hear the appeal on that song. And what was very distinct about that album was he brought people into his world. Burna Boy brought those artists into his world. That's what makes that album so distinct. At number 2, we have Soke Soke. This song was my first intro into Burna Boy. This was off his 2015 Spaceship project. This was the foundation of that jazzy sound that we hear him on today. I had heard Burna Boy before on the one feature with AKA, but I hadn't heard full-length projects, so I hadn't gotten down to listening to a full-length project. But I did with the On a Spaceship project. Very jazzy sound. He used a lot more auto-tune back then. This is a classy beat with the horn section. You gotta wear your best tux on this one. And number 1, the international breakout single, Yeah, 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 yeah. Look, I get it. I get this one. Very playful. It almost sounds like he was in the studio playing with different sounds, and it worked very well. The energy on this song, He sounds very comfortable on this one. It's the bounce, there's a lot of bounce on this one. I love when my Nigerian Afro pop acts get playful with their words. Pidgin and Yoruba works very well for this, and Ye is a great example of this. One Day Corr is another artist that comes to mind who's really good with playing with different words to create very interesting harmonies and melodies. A lot of people internationally know Burna Boy through Ye. That 2018 Outside project helped get Burna Boy recognition beyond Nigeria's borders. It's a great song. So there we have it, folks. My top 10 Burna Boy songs. Here at Cross Rhythm, we would like to wish Burna Boy best of luck at the Grammys. What are some of your favorite Burna Boy songs? Remember to like and subscribe, and let's continue the discussion in the comments.